All right, students. Thank you, families, for joining us. It is 6:01. We can go ahead and get started with our open house. Welcome to our class right now. I'm going to show a presentation as well, just so you can follow along. This is Contest Math 100, CM for short, 100, and it's our open house for the 2024 fall semester. Glad you joined us this evening. It shouldn't take too long. I just wanted to run by a couple of things and do a bit of a practice lesson with y'all. So I'll go ahead and get started, making sure that it shows up. All right, can you guys see my presentation? It should say, like, if I could have a thumbs up, that'd be great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So we are going to be just covering over some important information that I wanted to knock out about the class and in momentum learning in general. So I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, students. Okay, this is me. My name is Mrs. Rashid. I am a teacher, current teacher at Dulles High School in Sugar Land, Texas. It is also a school that has a magnet program called Math and Science Academy. I currently teach geometry AAC, which is an advanced level geometry class. I also teach Algebra 1. I am a math lead teacher for the department, and this is actually my 14th, going on 15th year of education. I have my master's degree from the University of Houston, as well as my undergrad. And I've also attended local schools in this area. So it's been a pleasure being a teacher. I really enjoy what I do. I also have two young children who also go to elementary. And yeah, it's been wonderful. I'm looking forward to helping you guys enjoy, learn, and adapt to math because it is a wonderful subject. All right, so this is our third slide that I kind of wanted to go over. It's our structured contest math curriculum. And I'm sorry I'm looking on the screen because I have the presentation on two screens. So I'm just letting you know that's where I'm looking. Currently, what is circled in red is what we are in. Contest Math 100 is the first beginning level. I love teaching younger grade levels or students as well, even though I'm a high school math teacher. So this is my little fix. I get to work with young children, and you guys are the age of my daughters, so it's actually really nice. Momentum Learning offers a comprehensive contest math curriculum spanning from upper level mathematics in elementary school to USAMO and USAJMO levels. So it can expedite rather quickly. The order, as you notice, guys, it goes from Contest Math 100 and then you go to 101, then to 200 and then 201. And you must complete a level before you move on to the next level. So it's upon completion where you can get sort of unlock the other levels. Entry level classes include like our Contest Math 100, which is this one, and 101 are generally based on grade level. So, for example, most of the students entering Contest Math 100 are third and fourth graders. So that is probably the most accurate way to say it. And then you don't have to be tested to be in this program. The fifth and sixth graders can also enroll into Contest Math 101 without testing. More advanced students are welcome to join our free qualifying tests to see where they stand. Our contest math differ from normal school, guys, so we don't stick to your normal repetitive types of learning that is kind of focused in normal school. We try to understand the basic foundational skills and then we build up on that so that we can kind of focus on your gaps and try to fill those before moving ahead. This really does help with advanced math, and you have a deeper understanding, which can kind of foster that new learning. So it's a good change from your typical teacher level classroom learning that we have with momentum learning. Okay, once you qualify for Amy, which is a type of test, you can enroll into Contest Math 501. So it starts building up. And yeah, many students find that enjoyable. This is focused on competitive mathematics. So if you are looking at competing on a level where you can go to competitions and try to place, this is where you would sharpen those skills. Okay, are there any questions before I move on? Okay. Thanks, guys. All right, a lot of this information that I'm sharing with you can be found online at momentumlearning.org. You could email them at info@momentumlearning.org, but we have lots of resources that explain the details of the program and the different varieties that we offer. I have been teaching with Momentum Learning for over 2 years, and I absolutely love it. I get to work with a variety of students who bring different things to the table, and you guys are so brilliant in your own unique way. So I love to catch up and talk, and it's a great outlet for me being with high school students. Class details can be found online. All you have to do is when you click on the class details, if you click on the blue title, it will help find more information. What you're seeing right here is my name. My name is right here, Rashid. I am going to be teaching the class from 6 to 7:45 on Wednesdays, starting September 11th, all the way to December 4th. Notice, guys, that because of Thanksgiving being on a Thursday, this Wednesday class, the 27th, it will be a holiday. Okay? So it is not included. And this is an online version. There is an in-person version with Miss Jalori who teaches on Saturdays from 10 to 11:45. Okay? Are there any questions about this? And again, for this class being Contest Math 100, I recommend the recommended grades are third and fourth graders. This is a more description of what our class has to offer. Again, we are really working on your foundational skills. We are challenging you beyond what they do at school. We focus on providing kind of a snapshot of what is the underlining topic, and then we go on to lots of practice. That builds a proficiency over time. Our class is an hour and 45 minutes per week. So we have one day where we log in, and in that, we have about a 10-minute break. So it's not like an entire time when you're sitting. We take a break, a snack break, a water, restroom break, okay? And then outside of class, there is an hour work worth of homework that you will need to submit. All right. And where can you access that homework? It's on Canvas. You'll get a login information and all that good stuff. I will, in every class, go over the homework from the previous day, from the previous week. So you can be knowing that, your questions are being answered, that any misconceptions can be cleared. It's a good deal. Okay. And once again, I don't know if I mentioned this, online classes are recorded. And I am going to be recording, I think this class is being recorded, open house is being recorded anyway, so it actually works out. All right. Are there any questions regarding this slide? Students, we are going to do some practice in a little bit, so it'll be a fun way to see how I teach, and we'll get started with that as soon as I'm done with this. This is our basic topic for each week, and we definitely go deeper, but it starts off at a considerable pace. We then build off for Contest Math 100B in the springtime and building up as well. All right, students, Canvas platform, once again, once you get your information, you actually can see all of the attachments available to you. All I ask is before class that you have those resources, materials printed out and ready to go. That really does make a difference. All class materials will be available in Canvas for 3 more months after the last day of class, okay? So it's pretty cool that you can actually look up over this after the class is over for about 3 months. All right. Are you guys ready for a little bit of some learning? We are going to practice order of operations with PEMDAS. So I just wanted to go ahead and get us going. I'm going to set up my document camera, which is how I teach the class. This gives you a good view of what we're doing. So I'm just doing a little bit of sample teaching today. It's going to be focusing on order of operations. So let's talk about this, students. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Okay. Oh, great. I'm so glad a lot more people joined. Thank you again for joining us in our open house for Contest Math 100. My name is Mrs. Rashid. I am a teacher for Momentum Learning for about 2.5 years, and I'm a current teacher at Dulles High School Math and Science Academy, teaching Geometry Advanced as well as Algebra 1. So once again, I wanted to talk to you about order of operations really quickly. Isn't it really surprising that, my friends, you could do the correct operation? You could add, subtract, multiply, and divide, but if you do it the wrong order, you will get the wrong answer. So think about it this way. Just like scientists need to prove something true around the world, so do mathematicians, guys. We have a proven universal way and order of solving operations so that all of us, achieve the correct right answer, the same answer. And that is why we follow order of operations. How many of you have heard of "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally"? You can raise your hand if you agree. Have you heard of that acronym? It's a cool way of for us to help remember the order that we are going to follow for solving certain expressions. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started setting up my document camera, and then I'll share that with you. Okay, with another screen share, I'm going to go ahead and show you my document camera. Can you see my paper? Can I have a thumbs up if you can see my paper? Thank you. Awesome, students. I appreciate you. We have some practice questions that I'd like to go over. Um, I'd like to call on a student just to know what their favorite color is. So, Haley, could you tell me what your favorite color is?
My name is Haley and my favorite color is purple.
Purple. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I shall use purple for number one. I have lots of pretty pens and they make me happy. I'll even show it to you. Kind of. There you go. Check that out. So I shall use purple for Haley. Thank you, dear. So, according to PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we are going to go ahead and begin with parentheses or grouping symbols. After that, the E stands for exponents, which is usually a number that is at the top, followed by multiplication or division going from left to right, and they're on the same level, followed by subtraction, addition, and then subtraction. Sorry about that. Plus to minus. Okay? And remember, these go from left to right. So let's put this into practice, okay? We're going to do some examples. We're going to break it down. And I am very particular about us showing our work and trying to be as neat as possible. The amount of times careless mistakes creep up on us really does depend on our ability to stay organized. So, looking at this, we're going to try our best to be as organized as possible, and we're going to scan and try to find either multiplication or division. I see both division and multiplication, guys. But according to the rules, we must go from left to right. So the first one that we see is this division right here. It is the first one we see, and sweethearts, 18 divided by 2 will result in 9. So that is the answer for that underlined part. And can you imagine everything else just falls right down? Like gravity, everything else will just fall right down. I know this is takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but you're being super careful so that you don't get the problem wrong or you don't miss anything. I'm going to go ahead and try to find another purple. We'll do this purple. Okay, so continuing on, after we finish the division, and the only reason we did division first is because it came first in the order left to right, we are going to focus on our 9 times 18. 9 times 18 is going to be on the side. We can definitely check this out. We have 72, 9 times 1 plus 7 is 16, 162. So again, this results in 162, and down falls everything else. Okay, please notice, students, how I am underlining, answering, and then bringing everything else down. Next up, we have a plus sign and a minus sign. According to PEMDAS, we are going to do from left to right. Addition just happens to be on the left. Okay, 14 plus 162. We can come on the side, so we're just a little bit neat. I'm taking my time with you because we're going to build on how to do math mostly in our minds and over time and in other classes. But right now, sweeties, I'm going to take my sweet time. Our last little piece of this is going to finally result in our answer. 176 minus 7 is going to be 169. Okay? And that's our answer. Are there any questions on how we did this problem? Okay? Awesome, guys. Thank you. Let's move on to the next example. Let's try to see if you can do this on your own, okay? Please write this problem down, and then I'm going to lean on you guys to see if you can help me fill it out. All right. I think you had some time to write it down. I'll go ahead and call on Isabella. Hi, Isabella. Thank you for joining us, sweetie. May I ask what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue.
Wonderful. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take out a variety of blue with us, okay? Thank you, sweetie. Let's go ahead and get started. So with this problem, I'll just go ahead and begin. I took out some colors so we can go level by level and have different colors, okay? Let's begin. So I see we have 15 times 18 plus 12 divided by 3 plus 9. Ooh, lots of stuff going on. Let's try to focus on, PEMDAS. Do you see any parentheses there? No. Do you see any exponents there? Exponents is a small number that you see at the top right of numbers or letters. That none of them have that. Now let's move over to multiplication and division. I see multiplication first and then I see division. Let's go ahead and do both of those together, okay? So I'm just going to expedite it a little. I'm going to underline this one and I'm going to underline this one. 15 times 18, we can go ahead and on our side calculate that. The reason why I also show some math is because, my friends, I want to make sure that you also know the proper algorithms for multiplying double digits, triple digits, things like that. Okay, it looks like we have 270. So 270. And then before I write plus down, I'm going to go ahead and find out what 12 divided by 3 is. 12 divided by 3. Alex, do you know what the answer is? 12 divided by 3? Excellent, my friend. 4 is correct. So I'm going to add 4, and then last but not least, I'm going to bring down the 9. Nice. At this point, all we're going to do is move along and add our way through. Okay? When we add 270 plus 4, we get 274. And then last but not least, our final answer is going to be the result, the sum of 274 plus 9, which is 283. Okay, students, are there any questions? Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and move on. We're going to do just two more problems, and then I do have some more practice, but I do have another topic that I can also discuss with you that I think will be helpful, okay? All right. Put up my blues and I'll move over to green now, okay? So we'll take a good variety problems here for green. I hope you are writing this problem for yourself and we are going to go ahead and begin. All right, students. So this problem we have 8 times 4 plus 9 minus 9 plus 18. Let's go ahead and begin. The first thing we notice is that we have multiplication and no division. We also don't have any parentheses, nor do we have any exponents. So we're going to underline and solve. 8 times 4 is 32. Bring everything else down. There are some shortcuts. I know you might be like, there's something I can do right off the bat that I won't even have to worry about. I'll go ahead and actually highlight that for a second, okay? So, my students, if you are noticing this circle right there, they are inverse opposite numbers. That's a plus 9 and a minus 9, which essentially cancel each other out. So it's like they don't even exist. All right? It's pretty cool. The last thing we're going to notice, friends, is that we have 32 and 18 that will be added together for our final answer. 32 plus 18 will result in 50. Over time, you'll become very efficient with what you're noticing and be able to build that speed. That's a very good skill to have. But right now, we're going to start slow and then build up, okay? All right, my friends, we have one more problem that we're going to do off this topic. And then I'm going to go ahead and move over to our next topic in our presentation, okay? All right. This one, we have a couple of big numbers, but it's manageable. We have 11 times 11 minus 6 times 17 plus 4. We're going to start off by noticing there are no parentheses, there are no exponents, but we do have multiplication and no division. So let's start with multiplication. We have one here and one here. Okay? 11 times 11 will result in 121. That is a perfect square. We also have 17 times 6, 102. Okay? Before we add, we have to subtract because, students, it is coming in order left to right. So we're first going to subtract and then we're going to add. 121 minus 102 is going to be, do any of my students know? Haley, Isabella, Alex? Go ahead, Alex. Thank you.
The answer of the difference between 121 and 109 is 19.
Excellent. And then continue on, my friend. Tell me what else I should do.
And then you add the 4 that's left over, and then the final answer is 19 plus 4, which is 23.
Perfection. Thank you very much. Excellent way of explaining, and I encourage you to use proper math vocabulary. If you don't know, that's how we learn. If you knew it already, then that's even fantastic. That's great. Excellent job, students. Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure if every one of y'all are a part of my class on September 11th, but we're going to have a great day, okay? It's going to be fun. We're going to get to know each other and at the same time complete our lesson. Near the tail end of class, I would like to play a quick quiz game in which I put you in groups and you try to solve questions together. So it's a good opportunity to get to know one another, especially when we can't really be next to each other. All right. At this time, I'm going to stop sharing and I'll continue on with my presentation. Okay, can you guys see my screen? We've already done the order of operations. Yes? Thank you so much. All right. So, moving on from this presentation, we've done some examples together, and we could keep going, but I do also want to talk to you about place value. Place value, again, in math, describes that every value of every digit of the number, depending on its position, has a value. These positions start from the units place, which is known as ones place, and they keep going up tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, etc. They also have a value. So if they are in the hundred spot, you take that digit and then you multiply it by 100, and that results in its value. Okay? So for example, when we are looking at an example provided, excuse me, is 543, they want us to write down the place value of each digit in the number. You have 5 in the hundred spot, so that results in a value of 500. You have 4 in the 10 spots, which results in a value of 40. And last but not least, you have 3 in the one spot that has a value of simply 3. The example that I would like you to try, and if you don't mind, everyone should participate in this. You don't have to speak or show your camera, but in the chat, would you please write down your answer to this example right here? Write the place value of the underlying digit 645. The underlying digit is 6. Please go ahead and in the chat, I would love to see your responses, even for my friends who have their video off, to please go ahead and put your answer in the chat. Thank you. So I see a lot of you putting the place value, but for example, Eleanor, my friend, why did you say 600? And if you don't feel like speaking, you can definitely write your response in the chat. Okay? So excellent job, Eleanor, and maybe you're writing still, but I would like to again highlight that the correct answer is 600 due to the place value, the value of it, okay? We're looking for the place value. By the way, in class, just letting y'all know, I require to see the video. I know today is open house and it's sort of optional to attend, and I'm grateful that you're here. But in class, it's absolutely imperative that I see you. You will remain muted until you're spoken to or asked to unmute. Okay? So, for example, I believe Lulu, you have your mic on. I'll just go ahead and mute you and just letting you know, just making a little bit of noise, and that's totally fine. All right. So the correct answer for this problem, example that you see, is in fact 600. Thank you so much, Eleanor. You had to take the 6 times the 100, and that resulted in the place value, the value of 600. Excuse me. Okay. Our next example is asking us to write down this number for it is described as 4,000s, 700s, and 8 tens. In the chat, could you please tell me your answer? Very nice, Matthew. Quick speed. Thank you, Alex. And yes, please, if you want, you can go ahead and reply either to everyone or just, excuse me, just to me. That will, allow other people to answer too. But thank you so much. Excellent job, students. What is the place value of the 2 in this problem? You have 5 and 32, 5.32. I don't want to reveal the answer, so I'm not going to say it properly. Very good, Matthew. Hundreds is correct. All right, students. So how do we pronounce this? The way we pronounce this decimal, excuse me, is 5 and 32 hundredths, where the 2 ends in the hundredth spot. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you so much, Matthew. Keep it up, guys. The place value of the 2 in 5 and 32 hundredths is hundredths. All right, students, what do you think the answer is for this one? Bella needed to choose the place value of 6 in 4,608. From the following options, help her choose the correct option. Good job. I'll go have a little pause for kids to answer this question, please. Thank you for your responses. I don't want to reveal the answer. Awesome, students. I see that you are selecting the correct answer. 600 is absolutely correct. Good job. Keep it up. All right, we have another example. All right, so what do you think the answer is for this? So we have the place value of 7, and they're saying that 7 is in the 700 spot. What would that be? Okay, thank you so much. This is a false statement. Haley, Riley, Alex, excellent job. The correct answer would be, you can put that in the chat as well. What would the correct answer be for this problem? Excellent job. That is correct. 70 is the right answer because the 7 is in the 10 spot. All right, students, thank you so much. We could try our best to move away from place values. And now at this time, I would like to work on some geometry examples. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears. Take a moment to write this problem down, and I will do the same thing on my paper. Then I'm going to switch gears to my document camera and try to do this together, okay? So they're stating that the perimeter of a square is 36 centimeters. What is the area of the square? We're going to talk about what we know to be true of squares, areas, and perimeters, and how we can apply it to our problem. Okay, so at this time, students, I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share again. Back to our document camera. And this time, students, I have the problem that I just wrote down. The perimeter of a square is 36 centimeters. What is the area of the square? For something like this, I highly recommend, let's draw a picture to help us understand. I'm going to draw a picture of a square to the best of our ability. And what we know of squares is that they all have the same length of sides, equal length of sides. They have 4 equal lengths of sides, okay? So if we have 4 sides that are all of equal lengths, this little tick mark indicates that it's all the same. The word that we use in geometry is congruent. Congruent means equal length. So they're saying that if all the perimeters will add up to 36, what we know of perimeters being the distance around a square, we would divide this by 4 to find out the length of one side, or S. When we do that, we find out the length of one side is 9. And let's go ahead and remember to put a unit to our numbers. So all of these are 9 centimeters, like so. Now we're not finished yet. We found out one side. Now we are asked to find the area of the square. The formula for area of a square is equal to that side length squared, or length times width if you have a four-sided parallelogram quadrilateral. Okay, four-sided polygon. At this time, we're going to take that area formula and we're going to plug in 9 to the formula for in the place of S. That will result in our area being 9 squared, or 9 times 9. What is the answer for 9 times 9? Very good. I see some answers there. We have 81. And this is where it gets a bit challenging. The units is no longer just centimeters. Because we squared it, it has a second dimension, the length and the width. It is square centimeters, or centimeters squared. Okay? And that is our final answer. Okay? All right. Are there any questions for me? Wonderful. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing once again. Try to see if I can get my friends to stop sharing. There you go. Get back to our presentation and see our next slide. Okay. Okay, I think we have one more problem, and I would like you to please try your best to answer this question. You can see it, my darlings. Knowing what I just told you about these very distinct tick marks, if I have these tick marks all around this shape, what does it mean? And how can it help us find the perimeter of this figure shown right here? If you know the answer, please go ahead and place it in the chat. If you are part of our class, when we do share, think and share, I do spotlight you and I like to have you explain how to solve, just to add variety to the classroom. It really makes a difference. So it's a good opportunity to hear your voice and your thought process. So, my friends, I know we're just chatting away right here. It's just an open house, and I wanted to see y'all, and you're seeing me. But very good. I see some different answers. So, this is going to be fun when we explain. My darlings, one more time. When you see those tick marks, they actually mean that those lengths are equal. So, we know the length of one, it is 2. Okay, one of the sides is 2. So, we have starting right here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The correct answer is 16. Okay, thank you so much for participating in our very short lesson. I look forward to having class with you on September 11th. Once again, our class timings are 6 to 7:45 on Wednesdays. We will be taking a break, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, and I will be going over homework the prior week's homework that night, and it really does make a difference for your understanding. Just showing you the screen right now. If you have more questions or would like to explore our website, it is www.momentumlearning.org. This is the phone number for the reaching the front desk. If I have any technical issues, I will of course let the front desk know, and that will affect class, but it happens very rarely. I conduct my class at home in the midst of teaching my normal teaching job as a teacher, which I love dearly. I get the pleasure of being your teacher as well through Momentum Learning. Thank you so much for attending. I hope you had an enjoyable time and I hope answer some questions for you. I hope you guys have a great, great evening and I'll see you in a couple of weeks, okay?